Hey, gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, and today I'm joined once again by my good friend Andrew Krabuschetz, founder of Red Balloon. If you don't know, and you definitely need to know, Red Balloon is the largest non-woke, probably better anti-woke jobs board on the web. It connects thousands of employers and employees with work and job seekers who share their values of faith, family, and freedom. And Andrew's here to chat about the latest jobs numbers that have just come out and how Patriots by the thousands are actively creating a thriving and flourishing parallel economy on which he's on the front line. So, Andrew, my friend, welcome back. It's great seeing you again, man.
Nice to see you as well, and always nice to see you. In fact, I recently had a hit piece about Red Balloon on Wired magazine, so it's fun to actually talk to friends who are thinking clearly about what's happening in the world. So,
Oh,
thanks
that's
for having
great.
me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Absolutely. It was a hit piece.
It was a hit piece. Yeah, no, they were talking about this, this far right wing Christian job board that only stupid people would go to. So I take it as a huge compliment. It's always a badge of honor to have a hit piece by a big magazine like Wired. So
There you
um,
go. You judge a man by his enemies. That's right.
that's it. That's it.
Yeah. well, it is awesome to have you back, especially to chat about this "Let's Go Brandon" economy we're in here. So the latest jobs reports just came out,
Yep.
and they're showing that the economy added it was under 250,000 new jobs. It's around 236,000 new jobs for the month of March. So give us a sense of what does this mean for our economy, and perhaps frame it in terms of how the Biden economy is faring as compared or contrasted with the Trump economy.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Biden administration kind of has a handicap because they can make a lot of really stupid decisions and push a lot of really dumb policies, and the American people still like to work. We still like to get things done, and
Right.
so despite their bad decisions, things are still cranking along. 236,000 new jobs last month is actually just kind of a ho hum report. That's
Mhm.
not a terrible report. It's not an amazing report. It's just the economy just trying to get by without all of the terrible policies coming out of the Biden administration. And what's interesting is then you start to divide it up by state, right? If you just look at that
Mhm.
headliner number for the nation, and it looks like this is a fine report, but then you start to look at it by state, and those red states are thriving, and the blue
Yeah.
states, you see what's happening in Chicago, you see what's happening in New York right now. Well, that's having huge economic impacts. There's a survey that something like 25% of the people in the state of New York are looking for a way to get out right now.
Mhm. Yeah.
And so these policies are driving bad things. And look, the Trump administration did a lot of good things for our country. In fact, I have friends within the Trump administration that said for every policy they put in place, they removed 21 policies, which is amazing, right? That's letting the free market do its thing. And that's what we're starting to see in these red states is the governors and the legislatures are actually letting the economy run. And when that happens, the nation looks like it has a fine job number, even though that job number is actually focused on the thriving red states, not the dying blue states right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. So the red states are making up for the handicap, as it were, of the blue states. The job openings report came
Yeah.
out for February, and that showed some, at least for me, some shocking numbers, like 10 million job openings.
Yeah.
So so what does that mean for job seekers and for companies? Why are so many employers still struggling to find good people to work well-paying jobs?
Yeah, so there's a couple of things that you're going to see here. So it's called the Job Openings and Labor Turnover Reports. The JOLTS report comes out of the BLS. It's a monthly report showing how many open, unfilled jobs there are in the economy. So employers are looking for talent, and they simply can't find the people that they need. And the report was down 600,000 jobs from the previous month. So a lot of people panicked and said, we're going into a recession, but it's still sitting at 9.9 million, almost 10 million, as you point out. Historically, before the pandemic, we generally had between 4 and 5 million open jobs in the economy. So
Okay.
even though it's down 600,000, it is more than double what it usually has been historically in the US economy. So why is that? I think that COVID fundamentally changed the the mindset around work for a lot of Americans. They enjoyed their time watching Netflix on the sofa, getting government checks. That didn't help anybody at all. We have a lot of working age men who are deciding they just don't want to participate in the labor market. And then you also have this factor that we've roughly been below the replacement rate of 2.1 kids for 50 years in America. We simply don't have enough people to get all of the work done. And then you had an acceleration of baby boomers who were retiring out of the economy during the COVID pandemic and crisis because it was hard to work and they didn't want to work in this situation. So you kind of have this perfect storm of not enough kids being had for the last 50 years, a lot of baby boomers deciding that it's time to retire because working is difficult and they have enough money in their bank account, and then a fundamental shift of people just deciding they don't want to work. And so what's happened now is you have
Wow,
an
perfect
enormous
storm,
demand on
actually.
the labor market. No matter what happens in the economy, there simply aren't enough people to get the work done.
Right. Yeah. So I've heard it put with Japan. There's more depends than diapers right now. It's just it's the same problem they're
Absolutely.
having increasingingly in China, and now it's caught. I mean, in Europe, by boy, they've been wrestling with this for the last few decades, and now it's hit us. It's finally. I mean, Elon Musk has been talking about that and the like. That just it's depopulation, not overpopulation. That's the
That
biggest problem that
that's
we're
right.
facing.
And a lot of people are wondering, hey, is AI going to steal a lot of jobs from people? Is this going to be, the next wave, the fourth industrial revolution? And I see AI as a tool to help people get their work done. So it's generally going to bring efficiency to the labor market. But with the current numbers we're seeing, with the current birth rate, this is not a problem. We are going to have a tight labor market for, I would say, years to
Right.
come, which is an
Right.
opportunity for job seekers. So if you're in a
Right.
woke job that you don't like, you have optionality. Don't feel trapped. There's a lot of companies out there that are looking for good people who maybe won't curb stomp your freedom.
That's so cool. So this is good news. This is
It is,
really good news
absolutely.
because among that 9.9 million are a lot of Patriot job owners who are looking for employees of faith, family, and freedom, loving faith, family, and freedom. Now, that's an interesting segue for this article I just downloaded from your site on redballoon.jobs, if I recall. I always
So
get the
that work.
work. I always get it wrong. I, oh, I we've been with each other now for over a year, and I still like
That's right.
it's
That's dot work, 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 work. We want to get
it's
back to
it's
work.
like yeah, it's like the running joke that I think Dave Letterman always had with Don. What was it? Don Rickles. He would always get his wife's name wrong.
That's right.
He's
That's
like,
right.
"How's
That's right.
how's how's Barbara? No, Barbara. Barbara's the hooker I would hang out with.
Yeah,
Dave,
that's
come
right. It's
on."
a different lady.
But you did have on your redballoon.work this
Yep.
headline: Big job boards, faith is bad, woke gender identity is good. And it's it's a pretty shocking report. Well, shocking for me, I guess it's my naivete on how Indeed.com canceled two employers' job postings for
That's right.
using terms like God fearing to describe their company. I mean, you have it as your byline or your first sentence. Come work for a God fearing, freedom loving company. Apparently, that's hate speech or something like that. That got
It is.
flagged as
Yeah,
inappropriate.
that's
So,
right.
I mean, what's going on here? Well, frame it in two ways. What the heck's going on in Indeed.com, or what they're just a symbol of something more generally, and what does that mean for the rise of a parallel economy, which you're at the forefront of?
Yeah, absolutely. No, and this is crazy, right? For you to have a business where you're describing yourself, right? You're not asking this of an employee, you're not discriminating against who you're going to hire. You're just describing yourself, which is perfectly legal even under the crazy EEOC regulation. But you're just describing yourself as God-fearing or freedom-loving. And Indeed said that is a violation of community standards. And I don't know what that means. Is that religious discrimination to actually describe yourself as God-fearing? In fact, Steve, the funny thing is if you took the Declaration of Independence and you posted it on Indeed, it would violate their community standards because God is mentioned many, many times in
Exactly.
the Declaration of Independence, right? And that's the moment we've gotten to in America where these big
Yeah.
corporations are using their power to push their worldview. You can go to Indeed.com, on the other hand, and find out what is the best technique to interview for a job if you're a non binary, confused person and you want to pull the I'm a transgender person race card and say that you have to hire me no matter what my skills are. They'll give you a video on how to do that, but they won't allow God-fearing. They won't allow freedom-loving. And unfortunately, Indeed is not alone in this. You'll see this with ZipRecruiter. You'll see this with a lot of these organizations, big organizations, and we know Facebook, etc. They're pushing a worldview and they're using their platform to do this. I saw a video on TikTok of an HR lady who says, "Do you think that I don't discriminate? I discriminate all the time. I am trying to get all the conservatives out of my business and the liberals into my business." So
Wow.
it is deep in the mindset of these people. And so there's some crazy HR folks out there, and Indeed is on the forefront of that. And that's why Red Balloon is pushing back against this. And we're not the only ones. There's a lot of organizations. You look at Public Square, you look at your podcast, right? The ability to find out what's actually going on in the world. When patriots, when Americans, when we stand up and we do something about it, instead of just wringing our hands and being like, oh, well, Indeed's doing this, there's nothing to be done about it. That's why Red Balloon decided, you know what, it's time for us to push back. It's time for us to provide opportunities. And Steve, I just got another thank you note just this morning from someone who found a job, and as actually the wife of a guy who said, you know what, my husband is now free at work and it's having a disproportionate impact on my family. So I think a
Yeah.
lot of people don't realize
Yeah.
what a huge blessing it is when you can actually be free at work, when you can focus on this. And Steve, we're getting thousands of businesses and tens of thousands of job seekers constantly coming to redballoon.work saying, you know what, I want freedom, because when you are free, you can be innovative at work, you can be successful at work, and you don't have to walk on eggshells constantly wondering who you're going to offend. And I think that what's going to happen is these conservative red businesses are going to win in the end, because if you have all of your employees are free to innovate, to joke, to have fun, and aren't, again, constantly walking on eggshells, that is going to produce an innovation and a speed of success in a business that is unparalleled in this woke economy. So just give it time. I'm very optimistic about where things are going.
I love how you're saying. I love your optimism, and I share it because I think what you just did is you actually closed the loop here, because we opened it up by pointing out the difference between a red state economy, and a blue state economy, and we're already seeing it. Red states devoted to faith, family, and freedom, by and large, are winning. They're
Yeah.
already winning. It's already happening. It's just, yeah, it's being able to break through the more dominant, like the super corporations, the Amazons. You mentioned the Meta or Facebook, and we got Twitter. That's the cool thing.
Yeah, that's
We
right.
got Twitter adding to it. But this, now you're doing a free training just for our audience coming up, I believe, in May. Can you give us a little more insight into what to expect there?
Yeah. So what we're doing is we're realizing, as we're talking to all these businesses around the economy that are part of this parallel economy, they're saying, look, if I hire the wrong person, if I get crazy inside my four walls, it is very detrimental to my culture, to my business, and it costs tens of thousands of dollars to remove that person. And as we've been talking about, we're in a very tight economy. So we're in a tight economy, but you don't want to hire the wrong person, because that will have a disproportionate impact on your business and on your
Yeah.
success. And so the Red Balloon team, we spent over a year really honing a process that allows you to find a person who's going to be a cultural fit, that's going to be additive to your business, and is not going to detract from all the things you've already built. And so we've built this whole process that allows you to get access to the right kind of people within your four walls. And so because we love you and we love your people, we thought it might be helpful if we actually just laid this entire process out. So all the businesses out there, and even the job seekers who want to know what it takes to be successful, they can come to this free training and find out, how do you filter for culture? How do you interview for the people to make sure that they're going to drive great success for your business? Your business is going to make more money if you hire the right people.
Right.
And so we're going to kind of lay out this process that we've worked on for over a year. And I think it's going to be really helpful for everyone who comes.
I know it will. Absolutely. So do you have the date? Is it May?
May 4th, and I won't be wearing a Yoda suit because it is May the 4th be with you,
May the
but it will still be a really good training.
That's right. You may get a bunch of Yodas showing up.
Which
You
is
never know.
fine. Yeah,
Hopefully not
Yoda.
Order 66 or anything like that.
That's exactly it.
That's awesome. And gang, this is great. As you can see, Andrew's literally doing the Lord's work here, providing a national network, a one-stop place to connect like-minded patriots who want to work in an environment and for companies that support our timeless values of faith, family, and freedom. All you got to do is just click on the link below to sign up. I do believe space is limited, so don't
It is.
wait. Make sure you sign up right now. Click on that link. Sign up for this free training on May the 4th. And it's going to be absolutely wonderful. Again, one of the things that you're just going to love and you should definitely go and click on the link and go to redballoon.work. What you're going to love is it opens up a whole world of employment that literally does not have 1 square inch of wokeness to it.
Yeah.
This is the parallel economy in its most stark form. So you're going to absolutely love it. So sign up for the free training coming up, and definitely check out redballoon.work. It's absolutely amazing. Anything else you want to add, Andrew?
I'm just optimistic. And, Steve, I think we share this. Look, if all the conservatives in America just today do something different to support a conservative business, to apply for a conservative job, to support someone in your community. If everybody does one thing today and another thing tomorrow and keeps up that rhythm, there's more of us than there are of them. And we are going to win, and it's going to change the country dramatically and quickly. So that's my encouragement. Don't worry. Don't look at what's happening in DC. You need to be aware of it, but don't sit there and stress about
Don't
it. Go
dwell
do
on
something.
it, right? Yeah.
Correct. That's the moment we're in, and if everybody does that, we're going to be just fine.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Again, you could see, I mean, this is again, make this today the beginning of the rest of your life, right? I mean, click on that link below right now. Make sure to share Red Balloon jobs listing resources with your friends, with your family, with your church, any and all networks. They're going to be absolutely blessed by this massive national community dedicated to building up an economy of faith, family, and freedom. So, gang, thanks so much for being with us. And Andrew, you're the best, man. You're welcome here anytime.
Thanks so much. Have a great day, everybody.